Thanks so much for joining us. We're talking with Fred Wool, and if you're a frequent viewer of the show, you'll know who Fred Wool is. He's taken trips over to the Middle East, and specifically over in Iraq, and he's brought back photos of his adventures and the people he's met, and you're over there for an agricultural reason. Is that right?
That's right. My assignment in Jordan is strictly horses. I'm playing with horses. It's pretty good.
Right up your alley.
Yeah.
Now you would think that they would know everything there is to know about horses.
Well, they do know a lot, but they're kind of behind the curve in what they know in the modern world. They're the same. They're at the same stage we were in the 30s and 40s
about
use of their
care
horses.
and use of
Care
horses
and use and all that. And I brought a few things just to show you today. But I have to say, I really have to say, every time I come back, Ann just gets prettier and prettier, and your beard keeps getting grayer and grayer.
Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome.
I may catch up to you one day.
Someday.
Are these from Iraq?
These are from Jordan.
Or from Jordan. Now, how did you get these through customs?
Actually, I just put them on my suitcase and.
Were you on a military plane over and back? Or
no,
didn't matter?
I was actually flying a commercial.
Okay.
But this is one of their horseshoes. This is what they use, and it's one size.
Let's get it down here.
Really?
All. Yes.
This is a horseshoe.
That's a horseshoe.
That's a full horseshoe.
Okay, so you need to tell us what is wrong with that.
Right here is our horseshoe. This is a horseshoe that we use in the U.S.
Now, why is it solid?
Well,
like that?
because they believe that protects a horse's foot more.
And what's this middle hole?
That's so the water and dirt
can get out.
I was going to say that's for the last nail you drive.
Right, but it's for one size fits all. No matter if their foot is this big or this big, they put that same shoe on, and they use a size number 3 nail. Those people out there that knows that has horses will know a number 3 nail is what they use in a draft horse, them big hoof horses.
Oh.
Where in here we will use a number 5 nail, and this is a bit that they use. This goes in the bottom jaw of the horse.
A bit lower
Okay.
there. We've got the camera
So
set up.
I can.
And see, and it's got
What's
the
this
shank
white
on.
stuff on there?
That's just stuff from they welded it. They actually make these there. And this is the ring that fits in the bottom jaw. You can see how small that ring is. So their jaw is not very big. Their horse's head's not very big.
So their chin fits through that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Their chin fits through that.
Oh,
This
wow.
fits up in their mouth.
Ah.
And it's pretty severe. And this is our typical bit.
I've got a pair of
that we
those
use
at home.
here. Yeah. This is, and you can see.
Dan.
What are these now?
That's a snaffle bit.
Snaffle bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
So it
driving
goes
bit.
in the mouth, and
That
this
goes
is
in
what
the mouth, and this is where you hook the reins and the headstall.
Okay.
And it don't have no levers or anything. So they're in the process of trying to learn. And where I'm at Petra. Petra is one of the 7 wonders of the modern world, and they actually use horses in the park. They take tourists in the park by horses, either in a carriage or on horseback. And so I'm there trying to improve the way they take care of the horses so the tourists don't complain about the horses being not taken care of and abused. I'm also working with them to interact better with the tourists so they get better like that. So I'm actually working that way with the park, and it's fun.
Been able to make some difference?
I've been making some difference, yes. Okay. The reason why I even have this bit is because I traded one of these for it.
Wow, really?
And
really?
So, it's really, my approach is a
This is more
approach.
valuable to you.
Well, it is
as a souvenir.
A souvenir or to show people.
Yeah.
But it's a mentoring approach because, they like Dan said, these people have been around horses for 5,000 years. And I go and say, hey, y'all don't know what the heck you're doing. I'm the big horse expert from the U.S. Well, I can't do that because that's wrong. So I go in there and I say, well, look, this is the bit that you're using here. Have you tried one of these? Well, no, I never have. Well, this is try it and see. Your horse will behave better. The horse won't be always shaking his head and trying to get away from you. This will help your horse. And once they see that, it's not telling them what they're doing is wrong. It's mentoring them.
It's discovery to them,
and discussing. And the fact that I have proven, let me tell you, when I first got there, I had to prove I knew about horses because, they
weren't going to accept you.
And so I had to, I rode anything that had hair, and I rode some stuff that was not very, very good, but I showed them and proved to them that I understood horses. And from that point on, they actually accept me. I'm called a brother from another mother.
There you
Right.
go.
I'm actually Bedouin. I mean, I live there. I have a house there that they have rented me. So I'm out. I mean, I'm not living in a hotel. I'm there with them. I'm with them every day, and I mean, it's being totally immersed in a Bedouin culture. It's pretty cool.
Now, you brought some photos. I think if we get some of those racked up,
I brought a few photos. But I've got to tell you one story first. You know, since I've been there, I've learned a lot of Arabic language, and hammam is bathroom. That's the toilet. Hammama is a turtle dove. So for the first 2 weeks, I kept asking, "Where's the birds? You know, where's the turtle dove?" And they'd tell me to go. They're out back. Well, I'd walk out back, and I'm thinking, well, maybe they're like us in the States. So I just found me a tree and used the bathroom. So you know, so be careful when you listen to the language that you really understand what they're saying.
No
you know?
doubt.
Hey, you were telling us before the show that they don't use the word shade over there.
Shadow.
They use shadow.
Shadow, and they love the shadow. They'll go in the shadow anytime, any place. I mean, there'll be a light pole, and there'll be a line of people behind that
little bit
in the shadow.
So there's not a lot of trees around there.
Not very many trees
Not very
at
many
all.
trees.
And
So they look for any kind of shadow for the.
But it's a dry heat, Ann. It's like sticking your head, sticking your head in the oven. I mean, it's a dry heat.
I'll go try that.
All right, see if we've got some photos if you're ready, Ian, back there.
Okay, that is me working with a couple of the people. And you see I'm wearing my cowboy hat, which is not very many cowboy hats over there.
I'm sure.
And so
Did they try to buy that from you?
They really like to have it. This is one of the young men and his donkey that he uses. And you see that donkey on his nose, those scars. Well, they have a chain on their halter. And one of the things I have done is I've got them switched over to using a regular halter.
So they don't rub.
So they don't make the nose raw. So I am making small changes.
Yes, you are.
Small changes that are doing real good. This is another young man, and the thing he had done really well as a donkey, so I gave him a PAL feed hat, and that's I thought that was a neat picture there.
Exactly.
But they use these donkeys to carry tourists around the park.
Oh, okay.
And so that's just a goat just eating what they do. I thought that was pretty neat because our goats here, they're in grass up to their knees.
And here they probably have to hunt.
They have to hunt and find whatever they want. This is part of Petra. Petra is about 160 square miles of nothing but carved sandstone tombs like this.
Really?
It's just unbelievable. That's one of the Roman Colosseums that they have there. I mean, it's just totally amazing. I mean, that's just still part of the tombs that they have, and they have carved these into sandstone, and they have weathered the time. I mean, some of this stuff is 3,000 years old.
Do they dig and try to uncover?
They have, but less than 5% of Petra has been explored.
Oh, really?
Less than 5%. It's totally awesome. It's just totally awesome. I mean, it just blows me away. You know, when I was growing up, I can remember sitting in Sunday school when I was 11 years old, and they showed them film slides of Petra, and I thought, man, I'd really like to go see Petra someday.
There you go.
Boom, you know.
There you go.
Now, I understand you were going to be awarded quite a distinguished award.
Well,
Tell us about that.
I don't.
You got to toot your horn.
Yes, I have the Secretary of Agriculture is giving me an award for my work in Iraq. I'm flying
And that's
up to
from
D.C.
Washington.
Yes, Washington, D.C., the Secretary of Agriculture, one of the cabinet members. Flying up to Washington, D.C. next week, the 7th, and they're having the ceremony on the 8th.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
That's
Thank
cool.
you.
What an honor.
It was a complete surprise. I didn't know anything about it, I'm very humbled by it because I really didn't do anything except just be.
Well, no, you can't say that. I mean, and we talked about this out in the hall. Is you're born with a certain ability to do something, and for some people it's an amazing. For you, it probably is not, and that's just the way we live.
But you're talking to people about something that you're passionate and love,
yes,
and it's a joy for you. I'm sure, not a chore. But
well, you know, one thing my daddy always told me: if you do something that you really enjoy, you don't have a job. Because and that's I mean everything I have done. And I love the people. The people are the most hospitable people I've ever been around.
That's wonderful to hear.
They're just and you know, and we hear a lot of bad things about this area
Yes.
and the people there. And I'm here to tell you that the large percent of the population aren't anything like what we hear. And you know, and it's they're just.
We shouldn't judge everyone by
we should
what
not
we hear.
judge everybody by what they hear. I mean, you know, we tend to do that no matter what we are, but you know, it's the large percentage of them are really. I mean, I'm talking about 99% of them. I mean, we have jerks here in Boone County, you know, that we don't want people to know about, that we try to hide. But you know, you have in any part of the group that you have, and you know, and I have been so blessed the last several years to get to have the opportunities that I have had, and it's I want to
So
try to
what's
make
next?
Well, I go back to Jordan the 13th of September for
Wow, right around the corner.
for 45 days. I designed a brand new carriage for him to use, and so I'm going back to help him get those things going and all that, because the carriage horses are really the ones that are they don't, you know, this is, you know, even though they've been around horses for 5,000 years, they've always ridden them. They've never hooked them to anything.
Oh, okay.
So
really?
they have that, and they use carriages, and they're not exactly really good at it. And so I designed a new carriage. They're being built right now. They'll be there next week, and I'm going back to give them training and get them going. And it's their high season, as they call it. This is the big part of the tourist season. Their seasons are just like ours. So their fall season starts, temperature comes down, and lots of people show up. I mean, there'll be 10,000 people a day go through Petra. Lots of people.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And it's fantastic. I mean, I just dearly love it. And you know, I retired last May from my my job, and this is just, I mean, I'm taking this on, and it's another full-time job for me. So
Well, what a joy.
it is. It really is. I enjoy it.
It's a vacation.
It's a vacation. I hate to say this, but this won't ever get anywhere. But it is a you know, I mean, we have a good client base. I mean, we have lots of visitors, but nobody from Washington, D.C. will see this.
Yeah.
So I can say, you know, I go there and I just have fun. I'm just myself. I go over there and I play with horses. I work 12, 14 hours a day because it's around horses, and I love horses. I'm passionate about horses, and they really want to learn. And so you know, I don't mind sharing all this, and it's and I learn as much from them as they do from me. And
I wouldn't worry about this going to Washington, D.C., because a lot of the people in Washington, D.C. just play too.
Well, you know, I've been up there before, and they have what we call hall walkers that have spent a career walking the halls.
Yep. There you go.
You know, and so,
Oh, well. That's just the way it goes.
So it is good.
Well,
And,
come back when you.
Well, I appreciate
back.
y'all having me, and I'm willing to share anything and everything that I do.
Well, you're
Thank
welcome
you.
to come back, and we're all, the invitation's always open.
Well, thank you.
When you go out on another adventure, you gather your photos and whatever else, and
come back.
some show and tell stuff. You're welcome to come on
Thank
back,
you.
because
Thank
I'm
you.
sure our viewers
I
are
enjoy
very
it.
interested.
I enjoy it. I enjoy sharing, because, again, I have been blessed so much with the opportunities that I've had, and it's you know, very few people. I mean, I've had a show in Branson. I've gone to Iraq. I'm in Jordan. I mean, I have just been blessed.
That's good.
I know Dan and I know Ann.
There you go.
You know,
There you go.
I mean, this is the cream on the
Well, I tell you
strawberry
what,
shortcake.
you keep riding that wave. Enjoy your life.
That's right.
Well, I plan to. I plan to. You know, I believe in this world there are talkers and there are doers. I want to be a doer. I don't want to be a
Well, I think
a
you're
talker.
doing that.
You're doing
You know,
it.
thank you. I
Thanks,
appreciate
Fred,
that.
so much for being
Thanks
here.
for having me.
All right.
As always, I've enjoyed it a lot.
Well, we're totally out of time. We want to thank Holly Gillis from the Coleman organization, also Rick Whitmer's running for school board, and Anna Marie and Patty Methvin from the Hot Air Society.
Rathagen
Hot Air
Solace.
Balloon, I'm sorry.
And as always, Fred Wool. I
And-
invite you to keep watching, and yeah,
Thanks for being here.
thanks for being
I
here,
forgot
Dan.
to tell you thanks last
And
week. I forgot about
next
that.
week we're going to talk with some girls with Hallelujah Girls.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there because
All
I'm
right.
one of them.
Ooh-wee.
Okay.
Stay tuned. See you next time.